welcome back to Cindy's Library. This is Cindy, and today I'm going to be talking about what I have read so far in December, even though it's not exactly halfway through the month. I already have quite the pile here. So, well, let's get started. I started with the story of Holly and Ivy by Rumer, Godden. Pictures in this one are by Barbara Cooney. And yeah, it is. The pictures are adorable, as you can see, but it is about a doll named Holly and a little girl named Ivy. Ivy is an orphan. I think she's even in a different town. And Holly is in a store waiting to be bought. But can their destiny to be together actually come true for Christmas? Spoiler alert. Yes, it can. But I won't say anything more than that, so I won't spoil it. Next, we have The Adventure of the Christmas Pudding. I actually did read that one specifically again. Always a good time. And it's a great Poirot short story to read for Christmas because, well, there's a case where Poirot has to go to a country manor for Christmas. So he gets to experience a full English Christmas. And the nice thing is, not only is it quite seasonal, but no one's even murdered. It happens to be a jewel heist this time, which is great. Let's see. The next one is The Underdog. Another short story. Another Poirot mystery. We have, I'm not sure to say, well, no, it probably is in a manner, not at Christmas time. We have a number of family members, starting with the man who has all the money basically and therefore feels he can do some dictating to other members of the family. And well, there's also staff. He also dictates to them. And he ends up dead, and Poirot must come in and figure out who killed him. Oh, I really don't know what it is about Christmas and mysteries, but they really do work together. Also read the next George MacDonald short story here in his Christmas collection. It is called Papa's Story. And it is a story a papa is telling his children, and it is about a little family, father, mother, brother, sister in Scotland. Family lives in a more rural area, but the brother, he has the opportunity to go to university, and at first things seem well, but lately news from other neighbors who have gone into Edinburgh, I think it's Edinburgh, they say how things are not going so well. Son is getting into trouble, and the mother is sick, possibly dying. So the daughter takes it upon herself to solve things. Very sweet. I also read The Wood at Midwinter. Gorgeous little book. And it has illustrations. So we have two sisters. There's more people in her family, but we have the two sisters. They are driving into, not sure if it's into town or visit a neighbor, but in any case, this is the perfect excuse for one sister to go into the woods as she loves to do with her animal friends, pig and two dogs. There may be more. And so the other sister stops and lets her off to go into the woods. But let's just say things happen in woods. This seems to be in the same universe as Jonathan Strange and Mr. Norrell. And as you can see, it's quite slim. I would say it is a fairy tale. Very well done. Perfect for this time of year. Let's see, I also read, A Christmas Party and a Wedding by Fyodor Dostoyevsky. Probably not quite saying that right. I apologize, but very interesting one. There's indeed a Christmas party and a wedding. One sort of leads into the other, with both the results you would expect and results you may not quite so much suspect. I'm not sure it's a favorite, but I'm glad I read it. And it took me most of the year, which is kind of appropriate considering how much time this story takes within the story. Tabbed it up a fair bunch. And yes, there is a lot of whales, but it's a lot more than that, really. It's more about life. I'm so glad I read it, finally. Ah, yes. Sacred Struggle by Melissa Wei-Tsing, Inouye. Seeking Christ on the Path of Most Resistance. Very glad I read this. Sadly, Melissa passed away earlier this year from cancer, but she got this out beforehand, talking about the gospel and struggle and irony and paradoxes and the intersection where all of this come in Christ. I also got to The Heart of the Family, the third in the Elliot family trilogy by Elizabeth Goudge. It is, I want to say, 5-6 years from the last book, something like this. Everyone is older. Lucinda has moved to the Lavender House on Elliot property, and Dames Rose Hay is now fully David's and Sally's and their children. And of course, things are still going well at the Herb of Grace. Or at least everything seems to be going well, but there are some underlying tensions again. And a man, Sebastian, he gets hired on as David's secretary, and, well, things are brought to light, decisions are made, lives are changed at this intersection of people. So glad I finally got to this. I also read this film comic of Kiki's Delivery Service by Hayao Miyazaki, and literally they take stills from the movie and add in word bubbles. And makes me want to watch the movie again. Love Kiki and Gigi. Kiki is a witch, and apparently when witches are 12, they're supposed to go off and spend a year on their own training further to be a witch. So Kiki and her cat Gigi do this, and they find this little city by the sea. She makes new friends, learns lessons. I just love Kiki. And this is a new version of these. It had been released in 4 separate volumes. I think I've shown you some of the other ones that I have in the 4-volume version. So if you already have those, I'm not sure it's worth getting this unless your heart is set on a hardcover like this. Otherwise, I'm not sure it's worth getting this, but I did not have this one yet, and I'm glad I have it now because I love Kiki. Oh, and I read some in a literary Christmas anthology. We have, let's see, I've read 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 items in here. So these are poems or shorter works or snippets from longer works from literary figures, many of whom you may recognize. I mean, in this set we have some Washington Irving, Charles Dickens, P.G. Wodehouse, George Elliot, Robert Louis Stevenson, Nancy Mitford. So just a delight to read from these this time of year. I also did it. This is what I've been concentrating on for the past week. The Last Chronicle of Barset by Anthony Trollope, closing out the Barsetshire Chronicles. And this one is interesting because the previous ones, in some cases, they may have built a tad on others, and especially the Warden and Barsetshire towers are connected. But then we go into a different part of the county with Dr. Thorne, and another part yet again at Framley Parsonage, and another one yet again with the small house at Ellington. Well, with this one we go back to the Reverend Josiah Crawley that we met before, I think in Barsetshire Towers. Anyway, we're back with him, and he and his family are not doing well. His is a very poor living. I don't think he has any independent income. I mean, things are a tad bit better than they were in Barsetshire Towers in some ways, but not really. And he uses a check to pay some debts, and people want to know where he got the check, and he can't explain it. And so Mrs. Prudy, the wife of the Bishop of Barset, she basically starts leading a crusade against the poor Reverend Crawley, and his path intersects with people from Allington, from Framley Parsonage, from Barset itself, all over. We even get a bit of the Thorns and Ultrathorns. And all of these webs are woven and finally come to a conclusion here. We got lots of John Eames and Lily Dale. Oh, we get Major Grantley, the second son of the Archdeacon, who's in love with the Reverend Crawley's oldest daughter, Grace, which causes some tension as well. And of course, we get a few scenes back with the man who started it all, the former warden, Septimus Harding. He is just the best. Wonderful way to end that story. I wasn't sure entirely how I felt about all of it at the beginning. I mean, I thought it was good. I'm not sure I thought it was great. But no, it's great. Totally worth it. And then, yes, I've already read and finished Letters to Father Christmas by J.R.R. Tolkien again. Christmas classic for me now. Oh, just gotta love a guy who can write all these letters for his children every Christmas for 20 odd years. That is a father for you. What can I say? So, I finally got to finish some big things here. Oh. And planning on continuing reading, especially some Christmas things. But family will be coming for Christmas, so I don't know how much I will be able to get done. But on the other hand, some of these things are more short story types, and that'll be perfect for this time. So I don't expect I'll necessarily have as big a pile next time. But this pile was big enough. I think you will agree. So, great reading month. Loved it. Hope your reading for Christmas has been going just as well. Love to hear all about it down below. Thank you so much for stopping by. I truly do appreciate it. So until next time, I hope we all stay safe and healthy. And as always, happy reading.